In my chapter, I consider whether the alternatives to the arm's length principle would be a viable option in an African country context. This is important for the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda because corporate income tax continues to be an important source of African countries. So if the corporate income tax system could be reformed in such a way that it actually generates more revenues for African countries, then African countries would have a much greater opportunity and ability to meet their sustainable development goals. Well, I discovered in the writing process that Kenya and South Africa actually don't fit the usual developing country mold, if there is such a thing, in that they have so many multinational enterprises that operate within their countries as monopolies. So this makes the arm's length principle particularly difficult to apply because there's a lack of comparables. In this context, I then argued that unitary taxation with formulary apportionment could actually be a viable alternative for countries like this, mainly because a system like that would enable the tax system to recognize multinational enterprises for what they are, which is effectively an economically integrated unit, and therefore allow for more effective taxation of the multinational enterprise as a whole. So my main conclusion is that unitary taxation with formulary apportionment actually represents a viable alternative in an African country context. So this represents a great opportunity for future research for similar studies to be undertaken in respect of other African countries to try to determine if this is perhaps the conclusion that could be reached across the board for Africa. And my hope is that studies like this could actually provide an impetus for African countries to move away from the arm's length principle, which has raised so many issues in an African country context, and actually move towards a system that is more effective and actually recognizes the particular peculiarities of African countries and is able to assist in making taxation more effective and efficient when it comes to the taxation of multinational enterprises.